All right, first question of the day. How long does it take for updates to bullet points, title, and description to get indexed and start showing in search results? Yeah, so this can happen fairly quickly. The biggest aspect is sales. So as soon as you get your first sale after you update, you should index in some capacity, right? To actually rank, that's a different way of going, right? Because ranking is anything that is 500 or below. So if you are ranking, then essentially you need more sales. So indexing should happen fairly quickly within first day of sales. You should, in some capacity, be indexed on it. But yeah, so realistically, it should happen fairly quickly. You can actually use Helium 10, which let me see if I even am logged into a Helium account. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, there we go. So yeah, just use index checker on Helium 10. You should be able to easily just check every single day. And then you should be good to go from there. Anything else? Let's see. No, I think that should probably be, that will be your best bet. Use Helium. That'll be your best bet for actually checking. I was thinking maybe you could use SQP, which you can, but that's going to be on a weekly basis for checking SQP for if you're actually, ranking or anything on it. So otherwise, check Helium. All right, let's see. We got Daniel. Hi, N. How can I find out that I'm outbid by a competitor or competitors on certain keywords or ASINs? Okay, so essentially you're asking if you're outbid. So the best way to know is, are you the one who is getting more or less clicks? I mean, you can also use Helium. If you go into Cerebro and check certain keywords, you can actually see what like suggested bid is based on what they're kind of crowdsourcing from other people and what they're crowdsourcing from Amazon. So yeah, I would just do that. I would go in and check Cerebro pretty regularly. You can also just easily check for your keyword, right? So go into Amazon and type in whatever your keyword is. And if you are showing up ahead, you know that you are bidding higher. If you aren't, then you know you're not bidding enough. It's kind of simple as that, but unfortunately we can't see the exact bid that competitors are using. All right, Daniel again. How do you guys find out what's happening in the market in a certain category? What's trending here, or what's people buying intention, etc.? That's a good question. I would typically probably go with, again, very similar. We could go over to brands, go brand analytics, and you can actually go and look at like your search catalog performance. You can look at your consumer behavior analytics for like market basket analysis. I think that would be an interesting one. So using market basket analysis, you can kind of see what are people purchasing alongside your what are people purchasing alongside your overall products? What are people purchasing in the market? You can also look at like the search catalog. You can start looking at certain categories. But there's not, I mean, outside of like inside Amazon, I should say that's like the primary thing. But outside of that, I mean, you can go into Helium. I think a really, really cool tool. And let me see if I'll share my screen here just so you guys can get an idea of what I'm kind of talking about. But a really cool tool on Helium is two things. One, black box, if you're looking for like specific products, right? But even better, their new Market Tracker 360, which is like a better version of their Market Tracker. Market Tracker 360 actually lets you build out essentially what you're kind of talking about here, Daniel, where you can see how certain competitor products are changing in the market, how the actual category is changing. Amazon will recommend, or not Amazon, Helium will recommend certain products to be added to it as well. So I would probably use this feature more than anything if you're actually trying to understand like the overall market. These new bubbles are much larger than I'm used to. I feel like I gotta like stand up here or something. All right, let's see here. Let's go, Daniel again. Give me a general go through. Okay, how do you analyze a category? Its trends, seasonality, search terms, etc. Yeah. Again, I would definitely look at Market Tracker 360. I can't exactly do a full go through here. That would take way too long. And we have limited time, unfortunately. If I was here all day, absolutely, I could do that for you. I might make a video on this, Daniel. I'll have our backend people here on the social team. I'll have them remind me to make a video on essentially creating category analytics and how to do that using a mix of Amazon and Helium. But I would definitely start with the Market Tracker 360. You can also use things like, I mean, you could use the audience tool. You could use, Black Box is good for products, not really category. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to go about this. It just kind of depends. You have to start somewhere. There's never going to be a service or anything that like shows you, oh, this is what you should go into right now. Jungle Scout has some good stuff, some decent stuff, but their product search feature is not the best in the world. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you very much. You and the mag in general. The mag is doing great work. God bless you all. Thank you very much, Daniel. Let's see. Sergey. Hi. How do you, again with this box, how do you charge your clients in terms of payment date? Because you have multiple clients who signed up on different dates. How do you automate the process and what tools do you use? Thanks. Yeah. So we charge our clients based off of the date they sign up. So we have obviously a finance team and we use software in the back end. I think we use Invoice Ninja. I'm not positive on that though. We might use something having to do with HubSpot. Who knows? Yeah, I don't deal with our finance, thankfully. That being said, we charge based off of when they signed up, right? So we do net 15 and whatever date somebody signed up, 30 days after that, they get a new invoice. It's mostly an automated process. Our finance team, like I said, handles it. I don't really do much on the finance side, and thankful for that because I don't want to have to do much on the finance side. So yeah, simple as that. Lit. Hey, Noah, please share strategies for BFCM and let us know what changes you would make for this period. Yes, some strategies for BFCM. So just so everyone knows ahead of time, I have a video about BFCM coming out already. So definitely stay tuned to our YouTube channel. Check that out when it does, because I'm going to essentially drop a entire here's everything, not just BFCM either. Everything for essentially this time of year, Q4. But some generalities. You're going to be spending a lot more. Amazon does 12 days of Black Friday. Makes no sense to me, but it seems to be what everyone does. I was at Best Buy the other day and I saw that, they already have Black Friday deals. I'm like, well, it's a week and a half away, but whatever. So realistically, yeah, the biggest thing that you need to consider with BFCM is Amazon does it for 12 days. So you're going to see deals already happening. If you signed up for Prime exclusive discounts, I would absolutely say that you should if you haven't. But if you already did, you'll see those active for the BFCM. Always, always, always click BFCM when signing up for that Prime exclusive. It's going to cost a little bit of money, but that's okay. It's well worth it. From an advertising perspective, you are going to want to increase your budgets. Unfortunately, people are going to be clicking and window shoppers a bit. So make sure that you focus on your best performing ad campaigns overall. Past that as well, I would definitely look at a lot of the different keywords you're doing, a lot, essentially where you're actually targeting. I wouldn't focus as much on competitor targeting during this time, just because you'd have to look at what the pricing of every single competitor is, what kind of promotions they're doing. If you have a competitor that you're normally beating, but they're doing like a 50% off and you're only doing a 20% off, you might not beat them. So competitor campaigns are usually going to be a little bit worse during BFCM. Unfortunately, people are kind of looking for just the best deal, and you can't track every single promotion for every single competitor. That being said, expect to spend more, expect to make more. The biggest thing is you're going to expect 3x traffic, if not more, on the actual Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Do not turn anything down until roughly Tuesday, Wednesday after Cyber Monday, just because, yes, people are still buying on Cyber Monday, even though there are 12 days of Black Friday on Amazon. So just keep that in mind with what you're doing. And like I said, be on the lookout for that video I'm going to put out. I give a lot of information. I kind of go through everything that you should do, especially from like a tracking standpoint. Oh, let's see here. Asif. Hi, Noah. Hey, I hope you are doing well. I am. We are really excited about this live session and want to thank you for all the valuable content you share. Well, you are very, very welcome. I love making content. I love being able to teach everyone. And I love doing these live sessions. I really, really do. It's one of those things where, I've done the live session when we've had close to 100 people on it. I've done the live session when we've had, 5 people on it. And I still love it every single time just because it's fun. You get to share some good knowledge. And the point of the e-commerce community is to really, really, really try and, share as much information as possible, make sure that we're all in the same vein of doing everything together and that we're all growing together. So absolutely happy to be here. Sorry, I'm looking over at this screen. Something just happened and I lost my window. So that's why. Let's see here. Maxi Melania. I would feel bad. I'm going to call you Max. Max Acosta. Best PPC strategy launch for private label could be broad phrase exact for long tail keywords going over the highest bid with highest percentage of search. So realistically, I would say when you're first launching, do not focus on broad. You're not going to get a lot out of broad. Unfortunately, you're not going to know enough about your overall market and product when you first launch for broad to be all that effective. It's going to seem tempting because it's going to be a lot cheaper, but you're not going to get a very good conversion rate off of it until you know what kind of negations you're supposed to be going after, right? And that's the type of stuff that takes time to understand. So when you're kind of first launching, exact and phrase are going to be kind of primary. Auto, have some of that in there. And then from there as well, you're going to target very, very heavily on any competitor terms and some very relevant keywords. You can use Cerebro for this. You can use Magnet. Both of them work very, very well. I would probably focus on Cerebro when looking at like competitor targeting. What are your top 3 competitors doing? Target every single one of those keywords. Top of search when you first launch is going to be expensive, but it's going to be worth it. Secondary to that would be rest of search. Is not necessarily a bad thing. Rest of search, you're going to get a lot of impressions, not many clicks. It's just the unfortunate case. Same with product pages. So product page targeting, but only do that on competitor campaigns. I just realized that noise was probably awful for you guys. Best listing optimization tips for Rufus. And I heard about Rufus loves sponsored display ads. Is that true? Or what you think about it? Yeah, I think Rufus does love sponsored display ads. It's really funny you say this because I actually have a post coming out later today about Rufus. It's essentially, I think Rufus is going to overtake bagels.io. So that'll be kind of interesting to see. But yeah, I have that coming out a little bit later today. I don't know, go to my LinkedIn, look at that. But I don't like it for listing optimization. I don't think that necessarily it's going to really give you what you need. And what I mean from that is that Rufus really just isn't that great at the end of the day. It's not that great of actually knowing what you need to do as far as a seller to list and optimize a product. It's really, really good at giving you, some keywords and telling you some things about your competitors. But from what I have seen, Rufus is just an AI that knows how to talk to you and knows how to show you some things, but it is not a trained listing optimization AI. So I think maybe down the road, I know that Amazon's coming out with a new AI for sellers called, I want to say Samantha, but I think that's wrong. But they're coming out with a seller version of Rufus essentially. And I think that one may be a little bit better in this capacity, but I really wouldn't use Rufus for listing optimization, unfortunately. Not yet, at the very least. Let's see. Let's go to, I'm being told that our team on the back end doesn't know why our style has changed either. I think it has something to do with our branding, but that's all right. We'll stick with the big old bubbles for now that cover half my face. Right below a product listing, there's a section called frequently bought together, where they suggest two other ASINs. Do we know how they choose those ASINs and what I can do to feature my ASIN? Yeah. So if you're talking about like above the bullets, right below the thing, let me see if I can even find a listing, and let me show my face while I'm doing that. Let's see. Let's pick one of these random products and see if it pops up. Here we go. All right. So I believe you're probably talking about this customers bought together. So this section is not something you can control. This section is literally what Amazon controls. And the only real thing that you could do here, you can see this is sponsored. So like this, for instance, you can advertise towards product pages and you might have a better chance of being here. But realistically, if we just come over here, like you'll see market basket analysis, you'll see purchase combination 1, 2, 3. That is what this is, right? Amazon is choosing to put things here. You can't specifically put your product there. If you're talking about, and they don't have it on this one, but they have the new ability for like tiny little virtual bundles somewhere around here typically. And so if that's what you're talking about, then yeah, you can just create virtual bundles and that'll kind of help you there. But yeah, that's the easy way at the end of the day. Unfortunate though that you can't full control it. Let's see, where was I? Pro Haul. Oh, we're back to the normal bubbles. Okay, team on the back end figured it out. When my ASIN states #1 rated, is that based on the category or the keyword? That's usually going to be based on the keyword. So when you search, I don't know, like guessing, let's do this. If I do balloons, and here's something that you might not know. I'm guessing you're going to talk about like, I don't know, Pro Haul. Are you talking about like similar to overall pick, and then like on the actual product it says #1 rated? That usually comes down to like literal what is your rating on all of these products on the keyword, right? And that's kind of what it means. It can be category related, but the only time it's category related would be if someone were to be searching by category. So if you get #1 rated, if I were to go to, I don't know, household essentials, and I just do browse household essentials, and you're like here, and it says #1 rated, then yeah, that would still consider you for a category, but it can be either or. It's just typically keyword because that's what people are looking at. Mustafa, I'm assuming. I'm gonna guess that's how you pronounce that. If I butchered it, you can hate on me in the LinkedIn comments or something. How can I find keywords in Spanish for my products sold in the USA? What? So if you're asking how do you find Spanish keywords for your USA product, I would question you and ask the question of, is your product something where people are searching for it with Spanish keywords frequently? And if not, then I would question why you would want to do this. Now, if it is, then you should have some competitors, and those competitors should be targeting that. Now, realistically, the easiest thing to do here would just be do a translate into Spanish so you know what your top keywords are, because your top keywords in English are likely to also be your top keywords in Spanish. So that it's simple as that. That's kind of how I would go about doing that, is essentially look at what your top keywords are in English, do some translate, and then throw them in there in Spanish. Simple as that. Oh, let's see here. Do you have an entry position for Amazon PPC marketers in MAG? We do. We do, in fact, have entry positions. Not only do we have entry positions, we have internships. It would have been awesome if the team was already prepped with that and threw that little thing. There we go. So you can see there, myamazonguy.com/internships. You can come up here on our website to careers. You can go PPC or you can go to internship. We do paid internships. Either one, if you're someone who already has a base knowledge of PPC, come, apply for PPC. Otherwise, apply for some internships. We do paid internships. always happy to take on applications. I think we did a little thing recently and we saw that like we've had over 100,000 people apply to the company. So it's kind of a really, really cool stat to be like, yeah, 100,000 people have applied to our company. We get a lot of applications. So feel free to apply. We're always hiring, literally always hiring. I don't know a single week where I don't see new people join. Megan Walker, 1 of 5. Oh, Megan. Okay. I know this is our brand's first year participating in BFCM. Well, congrats. And there's been lots of sales I've seen come through the orders tab already since yesterday with discounted pricing. But I want to see how many units per SKU have been sold in the same way I would see brand discounts in brand tailored promotions tab. Okay. Let's see. When I go back to the Prime Exclusive Discounts tab where I created the Discount Seller Central, it won't show me how many of each SKU has been sold with the discounted price. The BFCM discount also doesn't show up in the Campaign Manager. I'm guessing since it was created in Seller Central. Where can I go to find that info without having to manually, number 5, count every unit in the Manage Orders tab through the next 2 weeks? I've tried to Google every version of this question. Google has failed me. Help. The reason Google has failed you is because it's not Google who is failing you. It is actually Amazon who is failing you. The reason that Amazon is the one who is failing you is because the answer is there's not really an easy way to see this. It's unfortunate, but especially with Prime Exclusive discounts, it's not the same as essentially brand tailored promotions. Like it doesn't. I know brand tailored promotions shows you kind of the exact discount, shows you everything. The only thing I think you could maybe do, I'm trying to think, maybe from a reporting standpoint, you could pull the actual reports for what is going on. No, because we can't do promotions either. It's not going to be under promotions because that's unfortunate. I would hope that maybe promotions would have it. You know, this one might stump me, Megan, unfortunately. But from my knowledge, I don't think there's an easy way to go about this. We could, I suppose, I mean, you could pull a fulfillment report at the end of it, and your fulfillment report from an order perspective, you could get what the price of every single one was that was sold. So, I mean, let me share my screen because I'm just digging into this right now. Yeah, I mean, so I'll zoom in a little bit for you. So, I mean, you can come and you can go to things like your reports, right? And go to your fulfillment reports. And you could, in theory, download your entire order, all of your orders, and get that. You could also, in theory, download promotions. Now, I don't think this one will have Prime exclusive discounts, unfortunately. So I don't think this one's going to be a good one for you. But it is an idea. I could dig into this as well. I think this might be another area, Megan, where I think this would be good just to see some different ideas around how we can do this. Because the only other thing I can possibly think is maybe, I don't think business reports isn't going to have promotions. No. Yeah, let me get back on this, Megan. Maybe I'll record a video if I can think of anything. But unfortunately, I think order reports might be the kind of stopgap here for actually knowing which one it was. Again, this is one of those areas where Amazon isn't really great at understanding or telling you. I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm not thinking anything else. You can't do a custom report for that, can you? No, you can't. Yeah, unfortunately, Megan, I'm not thinking there's anything here. I mean, I'm trying to rack my head around what would be the best place, and I think order reports realistically probably is. I would also kind of question why you need to know which ones had discounts and which ones didn't. I mean, I guess from a kind of finance perspective. Oh, you know what you could potentially do here? You could do a payment report probably. And you can do a transaction view. that might be what you, yeah. Okay. So this is what I would suggest. Head on to payments, come on over to your payments, go to transaction view, do the exact custom date range you need, do standard orders. You can also do all account types if you have invoice orders. And you can literally just like get the transaction view of every single one. So that's probably what I would do. This is probably going to be the easiest way because that'll download all of your orders and that'll tell you exactly where you need to be. So that's the only thing I can think. And I also am saying this because I feel like this is probably more of an accounting issue than anything for you guys. So that's going to be probably your easiest area. You can also get that kind of stuff with like your reports repository, which is really nice. But yeah, that's probably what I would do. Go to your transaction view, get everything from standard order report, and it should show the order price there for every single one during that kind of time range. Test it out. Let me know if it works. Get back to me. That'd be awesome. I'll make a video of it. All things intuitive. I didn't miss anything else from Megan. I did not. Cool. Ooh, my camera's getting all fuzzy. Don't know why. I sell a popular Oracle card brand. Okay. I am indie and self-fund all my decks. Nice. I face stiff competition when counterfeits and overseas sellers undercutting pricing. Thoughts? Yeah, my thought is that really sucks. It unfortunately is part of the Amazon ecosystem. I really wish it wasn't because it just brings a bad name and bad rap to selling. The biggest thing I can say is if you are selling like decks that are not custom, right? And they are not, if they're not custom and they are not, anything that like has branding on them, you are very quickly going to have other people selling your exact same product. Unfortunately, I would look at getting trademark if you can, if you are not already. If you are, unfortunately, you just have to keep showing your brand is better than the competitor. That is the primary thing. Focus on really brand how you are better than competitors, why your product is better suited. Try and get a better pricing on your overall manufacturing. That can definitely help too. But yeah, unfortunate thing is there's not much you can actually do when it comes to other people. The counterfeits you can. So if people are actually counterfeiting like your brand, yeah, dude, IP claim those counterfeits all day long. But anything past that, it's unfortunate. There's not much you can do. The biggest thing is really just showing brand identity. Oh, we have Max again. Why don't you hire Venezuelan people for brand manager position? I got +2 years in brand management, worked with health extension, Polar Pure Bites, a lot of other 7-8 figure. Be looking forward work with you. I would tell you that we do, because one of our brand directors now, Mr. John Urban, is in Venezuela, or at least from Venezuela, I believe. Is he from Venezuela? I think it's Venezuela. I believe it's Venezuela that he is from. I should ask him that because I'm going to feel bad if that's not the case. That being said, yeah, so we absolutely do. You're from Venezuela, right? I'm just gonna ask him right now, because if I'm wrong, I'm gonna feel real bad. But yeah, he's been on the podcast a few times. Former brand manager, now brand director, for us and everything. And so we do hire from there, from my knowledge. We usually hire based on multitude of things. Obviously, experience matters a lot, but on top of that, we look at culture index. Are you going to be a culture fit? Are you someone that really would represent MAG in a well light? So we have a lot of criteria when it comes to hiring people and making sure that we have great fit. Again, we love teaching people and we love bringing people in, so we're not going to fully just exclude anyone if we see a real good fit for some reason. All things intuitive. Thoughts, meaning strategy going forward with that. Oh, I already answered the question. Okay. Let's see here. Which is more important on Amazon, PPC or design catalog SEO? Yes, every piece should be optimized, but which one out of both have larger impact? I don't know if necessarily. I don't know if necessarily you can say like one has the largest impact. I mean, obviously, I think design probably has one of the largest impacts. Um, I think next to design, it would probably be, I don't know, probably PPC. Amazon's very pay to win in this day and age, right? So you can't really grow on Amazon without advertising. Unfortunately, you can, but it's also kind of the thing of like you can't have a bad looking product. It's really hard to say. Oh, you can just work off one or the other. You can't. You have to have a well or a good looking product. Because of what is it? This is a hard question. I don't like this question. I mean, I do, but I don't. Let's see. So, I mean, design is probably best, right? Design is going to become first and foremost because you can only, if you have a turd, you can only polish a turd so much. But if you have a turd that's, even if the turd is polished, you can still somewhat sell it with PPC, but you have to be able to rank from SEO. It's kind of the age-old question, I guess, here of which is more important: impressions, clicks, add to cart, or conversions, right? ICAP funnel, essentially. And it's more like a giant circle than it is like a tier system of what you should focus on. So the way I would say it is, you get your impressions because of the fact that you are advertising on it and you are getting good keyword depth. You only get your clicks because you have a good design and because you are getting impressions. You only get people adding to cart because you have a good SEO and a good product detail page with your design. And you only get people to purchase because you have enough information there for people and your pricing is good. But at the same time, you're only getting to show up in impressions because of PPC and because of SEO and ranking on keywords. So it's very much a circle. It's not like every single one. If I had to choose any of them to do, like if I could only do one, I'd probably have to choose advertising just because, you can always throw money at the wall, but it becomes perpetually more difficult if you don't have good design, don't have good SEO, etc. Max, everyone in the US call me Max. No, thank you. Let's see here. SP the Paro. Usually when I say is Amazon available in Pakistan? No, I don't think there's Amazon Pakistan right now. There's Amazon India, no Amazon Pakistan. I think Amazon United Arab Emirates. That's one. So you can do UAE, you can do India. We can also just look up all Amazon marketplaces. I think there's like 27 of them now. That being said, I think you might be able to order to Pakistan. Amazon just added, I think it was like 200 more localities around the globe that can order Amazon products and have them shipped there. So interesting. Also, I got confirmation for, let's see here. Where was that question? The Venezuela question. I got confirmation from Mr. John Urban that he is Venezuelan. So we do, in fact, hire people from Venezuela, especially for the brand manager position, even brand director at that. If a campaign is doing great, let's say 10K a month, how can I scale it to 20K a month? You increase your overall bid percentage. You add new targeting keywords. My question to you would be, why are you, are you already at the top? Are you, what is your top of search placement, right? So if you have on a campaign top of search placement less than 5% or less than 25%, increase, right? So increase your bid placement. That means you're not getting it all the time. So you're not actually winning, that placement every single time. So it just comes down to a bidding game, but then you're going to probably sacrifice some ACoS, right? So the biggest thing to look at there is diversify. don't necessarily say, hey, I want to scale this one campaign that's doing really well at 10K. And I want to grow it to 100K. Be like, no, let's get 10 different campaigns that all are doing 10K and all at really good ACoS and scale those, right? So diversification is a lot easier than scaling, especially when it comes to campaigns and keeping a good ACoS level on them. Max, again, last question. When a client asks, how much should I pay on PPC or in general account, how can you project sales for them and go like, with this budget, you could reach X sales in X months? The way that I look at it is I don't like doing like X, saying X amount and doing guarantees. It doesn't work, right? Saying an actual like guarantee never works, because what happens if, I don't know, they go out of stock for some reason and it's not our fault? Or what happens if they fully just tank the listing, or, there's a million things. So guarantees suck. What I will say is there's usually pretty decent formulas for this, right? Like when you've been in the Amazon space long enough and you have worked on enough products, enough categories, there's some very cut and dry, hey, you're only spending $500 in advertising right now. I'd recommend $4,000 in advertising per month minimum. And from that $4,000, I'd like us to have around a 10% tacos. Okay, so if we're at 10% tacos and we're spending 4,000, then we can assume and extrapolate that from that, you're going to be, whatever it is at 40,000, right? In total sales volume. So, we can go up from there, but let's start at 1,000 and can assume that by month 3, we'll be at 4,000 in total spend with that 10% tacos, 40K in sales. So there's like calculations you can do here. You can also look obviously at keywords, but a lot of it just comes down to like a knowledge aspect, right? You just have to have that knowledge and have been in the marketplace for a long time and like done a lot of optimization to be able to just like look at something and be like, I know how to get there. Spidey, please. My question is that my product's GL is getting changed. The biker glove is going, GL is GL. Anyways, the biker gloves is going in sports gloves, not in protection gloves. You're talking about like category. Okay. Yeah, Amazon can change category on you all the time. They do this primarily when they think a product belongs in one category and people are purchasing from that category more often than not. The unfortunate part is there's not a ton you can do to stop them from doing this. The only thing I would focus on is what your targeting is. So if you have a keyword that is commonly associated with one category versus another, and you are doing, let's say, product page targeting towards certain competitors, but it turns out those competitors are in that category, right? Or you're doing product page targeting towards the keyword gloves, and guess what? You're probably showing up on a lot of products in the sports gloves. Amazon chooses category based on what they think people are actually looking for. So you can change the category a million times over and they will still try and change it back every time. You can open seller support cases, but anytime you see it, just keep trying to change it back. Use flat file every single time and you'll have more success rate. But unfortunately, there's not like a cut and dry, this what, how you stop them from doing that, right? You can't lock your product down. Only Amazon can. Ooh, little LinkedIn message. If a campaign is doing, I think we already asked this. Let's see. Okay, another LinkedIn. To how much extent does backend search terms help in SEO? It helps a ton. Backend search terms are amazing. They're, probably top 5. I was about to say top 3, top 5 as far as SEO goes. They also help a lot when it comes to like Amazon itself understanding your product. So, and trying to compete. And it's like the one area that, you're not going to have any customer see it, but it definitely helps a ton in the overall search. And then as well, I would check your brand analytics, go to top search terms, understand what's being searched for it as well. Let's skip over here. I don't spend any money on PPC advertising on Amazon. Okay. Which company can I hire to just run my FBA business completely? Or which company can hire me an already FBA trained employee to run my FBA. Hold on, you want a company to hire you to run your own FBA business? Okay. I don't think that's a thing, but anyways, first off, not spending any money on advertising on Amazon is kind of interesting. I realistically just don't even advise it. I don't care if you're doing well and you're making $5,000 a month in sales or 10 grand a month in sales organically. There's just 0 point not to advertise, right? Like the cost benefit of advertising versus not advertising on the platform is so high. So like I always am going to encourage advertising. That being said, as far as finding a company to hire, hey, reach out to us. We'll run the business for you. But realistically, yeah, just search for an agency, search for freelancer. If you want to be kind of fully hands off, I'd probably go with an agency over like a freelancer. It sounds like also you're looking to like work for one. So, I mean, you could go work for an agency. I know there's some out there that give discounts to like employees if the employee wants the agency to run their store. That happens all the time. I think we do that here pretty frequently. So yeah, something to think about. Javed, thank you, Noah. I keep waiting for your live sessions. Awesome learning. Happy to. Max, many clients are asking for external influencers. What do you think about Levanta? Do you have any other way for external influencers? I love Levanta. And I want this to get clipped and sent to Trey Little. And I want him to see that I am saying I love Levanta. No, I love the Levanta guys. I love what they're doing over there. They're growing. They're huge already. They have some great people over there. I know they've got like some investment as well. And so they're awesome. At least I think they did. I don't know. Either way. They're awesome. They do really good work. Career connections, obviously you can do. I'm not the biggest fan, but it does work somewhat. As far as overall, I guess like strategy wise, when it comes to finding them, you can also search for a lot of just different UGC campaigns and companies out there. There are tons of them, but I think Levanta does the best job for Amazon sellers specifically. So that's probably what I would suggest overall is from a looking at standpoint. Is there any report in which sponsored brand data? Into video. No, the best thing you can really do is kind of pull the report data directly from the actual campaign that you're wanting to look at. That's what I would probably look at doing. That's going to be the easiest way to actually get that data from them. But unfortunately, there's not like a one size fits all report that you'd be looking at. I mean, I guess technically you could go like your reporting summary, but even then, again, you're probably not going to get what you really actually want out of it. You're going to just want to go to the campaign and get the data direct from it. Venice Beach. I have a shoe that the Amazon listing shows was released in 2024, but was released on 2014. Is it worth it to fix it? Does it affect organic search? No, I mean, not really. It's just historical data, right? So that sounds like maybe you had a listing merge at some point that happened with a listing this year. The only thing it's affecting is the history you have of your rankability on the product. If at some point you have some history of it being ranking really well, yeah, it might be worth it. But if you haven't lost any of your actual ranking history, then no, it doesn't matter. Javed, how to reach Amazon customer for review and feedback. Is it advisable? I mean, the best way to do it, you can do review generation, right? You can do like Helium 10 has it. You can do Amazon's own thing, but realistically, it only increases percentage of review of total review like minorly, right? Like it's not super great, and unless you have like desperate need for reviews, I don't see it as a huge value add at the end of the day. Let's see here. Jacob, still having error code 18605 manipulation attempt. Pine oil listings got removed due to sleep related claims in the PDB text. Content changes do not update in the backend, losing 5K per day. I still haven't been able to find error code 18605. Jacob, did you send me an email to podcast@myamazonguy.com. I didn't see one come through from you. Again, I'm still not seeing 18605. I would love to see the actual error code and what they're saying. If you have sleep-related claims, what I will tell you is that you have to prove what the product actually is, which is usually done through manufacturer attempt. So you have to appeal by having your manufacturer send you what the product is made of. So unfortunately, that's probably what you're going to have to do here. I would also make sure you take those claims out. Amazon's going to have to usually help you with that on the Seller Central side. So you have to, unfortunate, but that's kind of the route that you have to go. Send me a message, Joe. Podcast@myamazonguy.com. I want to take a look at it. Take a screenshot of the actual error code. Send me the ASIN of the product as well. I'll take a look at it and see how I can kind of help you out there. Javed, how to reach Amazon sellers to pitch for services like account management. I mean, you gotta look for them. That's realistically what you have to do. Find some lead gen software, go on LinkedIn. There's a million different Amazon brands out there. Find a product and work backwards, right? Like you can go on Amazon, find a product on the platform, and then literally work backwards from there. 1 second. I have a really dry throat today. I'm afraid I'm getting sick. We had our first snowfall here today, so it's that kind of season. Hanzala, which is the best strategy in your point of view for Black Friday, Cyber Monday? I think I already answered this earlier in the chat. I would just rewind a little bit to the beginning. It was like, I don't know, like the 5th question in. So sometime in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, I answered the question. So I would just go back there. Again, I'm going to also put a video out very, very soon on this exact topic. So in ASIN targeting, what do you suggest for match types? Exact or expanded? Exact. I mean, it expands all right. It depends on what you're kind of going after. If you're kind of going to, go category wise, but 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say, go for exact. Max, great. I'm about to meet with Greg Potts the coming week, but I need a reference like yours. Max, tell Greg I said hey and tell him I sent you. I want to see that. I number, so he'll shoot me something. But tell him I sent you. And that I heavily say yay to Levanta. Let's see here. Megan, again, yes, definitely for financial reasons. We sell industrial products that have nothing to do with the holidays nor gifting. So that's why we've never done BFCM in the past. So want to see if sales and units sold are higher than average to see if we will continue to do it next year. I already download daily reports, but just want an easy, accessible view. No more novels, I swear. No, unfortunately, there's not an easy, accessible view. Amazon, again, sucks at that kind of thing. I think transaction view is, like I said, going to be your best bet. Order reports, that will be your best bet as well. But realistically, this is how you should probably look at most Prime Day, Fall Prime Day, Spring Prime Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Look at these huge sale events where you typically have to do promotions and like deep discounts in this capacity. You, for the weeks leading up to it, are usually going to have the same, if not more, of a sales decrease during that time frame than you do get a sales increase during the time. So you're usually going to actually even out on most of these events. The only thing that they're really good for is if you have a very high profit margin, you can afford to eat a lot of that profit in hopes of getting a ton of ranking that propels you forward. That is what these sale events are best for, is just shooting you forward from an organic ranking standpoint. But from an actual sale perspective, no, you usually end up evening out more than anything. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, a little different because it's just huge sale event. Everyone's buying. Everyone gets a little bit more sales this time of year. Asif Khan, are you offering internships to candidates from Pakistan, or are they only available for the Philippines? I don't believe we have any current internships for Pakistan, unfortunately. Feel free to send your application. Like I said, we can make exceptions all the time, but I don't think typically we do Pakistan. Usually just comes down to a logistics legality type situation more than anything. As if someone have knowledge, yeah, so same thing. Just apply internship no matter what if you want to. Hanzala, can you share your experience with sponsored TV ads? I've created campaigns on a different account, tested different bids, even exceeding $150, but never got any impressions. So what would you suggest? It's near impossible to not have impressions on sponsored TV if you're actually doing it correctly. The reason I say that is because Amazon is to like guarantee you a spot placement in a certain capacity. So I would contact Amazon about that, because that's kind of weird to not get any impression whatsoever. Especially if you're spending money. But the bigger thing is it really depends on what you're also targeting. If you just have that as a bid, but you're not actually spending any money, yeah, I can see that. It just means you're not bidding high enough. The big thing with sponsored TV is that don't expect it to be money that you are going to get sales out of. It is for brand awareness and brand awareness alone. It is so rare to get like a large percentage of sales out of any form of like TV ad whatsoever. So, that's kind of where I would stand with that, Hanzala. Unfortunate, but it's just true. Oh, Muhammad, what's the best way / method you use to get your catalog issues resolved by support, as 99% of support agents send traditional old replies and they don't even have required knowledge in my experience? Yeah, they're saying AI templates. Best way and method? Just keep sending them. I mean, I'm just chuckling because it's true. I mean, the best way to get your problem solved with seller support is just keep sending it. Call them again, and call them again, and hope that you can get connected to someone who will actually solve your problem. It's unfortunate, but seller support sucks. No one is ever going to say otherwise. It's one of the reasons that businesses like ours exist, because we're really good at the templates that we have to get them to respond in the way that we want to. There's not like a secret trick. It really is, you have to have the knowledge of, this is the exact problem, this is the exact template that can get them to respond in the way that we want to, and we'll get the problem solved, right? So that's how it is. I mean, you could look and buy our SOPs. I would heavily advise that if that's something you're interested in, because yeah, we have SOPs on pretty much every troubleshooting issue that there is. So you could look at that, and that'll help a ton. In this capacity, it comes with a bunch of templates for troubleshooting issues, and we have a really good thing. But for just like a one-stop shop thing, just takes time. Just takes time and effort, unfortunately. Max again, I'm applying 50% off strategy on many clients. When it comes to launch a product, we can't do strikeout price because of lack of sales. So how can we do this strategy for product launch? Not subscribe and save available. So you can't do, so I mean, you still just put it at 50% price. You don't need the strikeout, or you don't need the strike through price for the 50% to work. The point of the 50% is to be way lower price wise than any of your competitors, because you have to remember, price is the number one converting factor. So the goal with the 50% is not necessarily to have a strike through. It's literally just to have a lower price than all of your competitors. That is the full intention of doing a 50% strategy on launch. See here, Megan, non-listing question. Do y'all do in-person conferences or meetups? I'd love to go to one. Surprisingly, no. It's something that we have thought about. We've been doing some spitballing around it, and the idea of potentially starting a more committed in-person My Amazon Guy community. I think that would be really cool to do. And I'd love to build something like that with some people. I know there's a couple of us internally who are kind of spitballing the idea around it, but no, I mean, we don't even really I go to conferences personally, for My Amazon Guy. I was at Accelerate. I have like 10 next year lined up or something like that. But we don't usually send a ton of people. We don't get booths or anything like that. The value add is kind of like right here, So it's one of those where, We don't do it a ton, but the community aspect of things, we would love to start doing some stuff like that if possible. It's just a very, very hard thing to put together and create. If a campaign is getting good conversion of placements other than top search, should we still try to show ad on top search? But top search has no clicks and impressions. Should I try and get clicks on top search? Yeah, that just means that your bid is way too low for top search. So what you literally should do here is lower your bid way more so that it stops showing up on rest of search and product pages, and then add a placement modifier to rack that up on top of search. That's all it is. Your bid is just too low for top of search. All right, guys, one last question here. Now I'm gonna bounce on out here, I think, even though it's a little early, but let's see if campaign is getting, I just answered this question. So there you go. All right. Well, I think that was productive, and we even had a slight little power outage at one point. So it was a little bit of a fun one. So that being said, just kind of recap, guys. My name is Noah Wickham. I'm sales director here at My Amazon Guy. Check us out. We're a full service Amazon agency. We do this every single Friday live at 12 p.m. Eastern. Maybe next Friday, maybe not, probably not. It's Black Friday. We're, doing company off time and everything. And so I'm probably going to take some time to spend it with my family. But if I don't have anything going on, maybe I'll hop in here and, record for a couple hours or something. I don't know. So anyways, don't expect anything next Friday, but if there is one, Asif, thank you. Your videos share such valuable knowledge and we're learning so much from them. Keep up the amazing work. Absolutely. Love being here. Love doing these things. And love getting all the questions and helping guys out. So, and that being said, gonna hop on off and, I'll see you guys, if not next week, the week after. See you, everybody.